Welcome to another great show of Nah Mean with myself, Mark Johnson. We've got a great lineup for you, or rather a great topic of conversation. We're going to be talking about dating in the modern day world, whether you use dating sites, dating apps, or you just go online and kind of weirdly stalk people. If you have a problem with your game, we've got the expert matchmaker, Theo Malherbe, joining us in the studio, as well as a friend of mine. I actually just bumped into him outside in the parking lot, and he kind of begged me to be on the show because he's the kind of guy, and you know this kind of guy, who needs help finding somebody. So stay tuned if you'd like to see how dating goes down in the modern day world. This is actually what happened last night. So, because this is the episode on dating, and we've got a dating expert on here, and so they forced me to go on Tinder to find a match. And I went on a date last night, and I'm sitting there. For the first part, I ordered a bottle of wine, and I'm waiting for the girl to come. And I'm drinking some wine, I'm chilling, and I'm checking my phone to see if she's late, and she's like a little bit, like 5-10 minutes late. And I'm sitting with my back to the entrance of the restaurant where we're sitting. And I keep on looking back to see if she's coming, and then I realized, but I can't do this the whole night. So I just changed seats so I could face the door. And then as I sat there, like every girl that came in, I was like, is that her? Is that her? Is that her? Because you can't be completely sure what you're gonna find online. Sometimes you find like this beautiful girl, and you go like, swipe. But then she's like, and you see in the real life, you're like, wait a minute, this is false representation. I know I can't legally sue you for this, but you have caused me emotional damage and scarring. I don't know if I can trust people again from this, and it's gonna be tough for me to go back online and swipe again. But then 5 minutes later, you're back online, you're swiping. So I'm sitting there, waiting, and then like beautiful girls come like, oh, is this the Then it's not her. And a gorgeous girl comes like, I'm like, no, it's not her. And eventually, she comes in, and I'm like, yes, great one, cutie, patootie, funny, great. Night goes on, fantastic. She doesn't want to leave, and I'm like, this is going super well. The question is, whenever the date ends, do you not? Do you go in for the good night kiss? Do you try it? Is that, how do you read it? I'm not going to tell you how mine ended, but you can guess for yourself.
Right, so Pop Culture is a YouTube channel started by the three of us where we create content for young South Africans, or actually mostly just conversations that we've been having with ourselves. In your opinion, how has dating changed in the last 5 years?
Dang. These niggas ain't Why are you censoring yourself? Say it!
These niggas ain't shit. The game has definitely changed.
It definitely
has.
That
scumbags rule the world.
Okay, that's a constant.
Basically, the thing is, outside of all of that, I think you don't just either hang out at a park and all of a sudden this cute guy.
And you gotta stop lying to us, rom-coms. No one's coming to see me as I'm showering. No.
It's now creepy meeting people like randomly because you're like a stranger.
Which was okay back then.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like to be like, oh my god, hey, how are you? In the coffee store, if someone is like, I've seen you around, you're calling
the
staff. You're calling your friend. Ngani, listen, someone is following me.
Yeah.
They're telling me that they've seen me all the time in the store. And you could, guys, it could just be like, your paths just always cross.
Yeah.
And it's not about I'm actually going out of my way to find you. But it's like,
so now things are like very much on your fingertips, on your phone. People are going down in DMs on Twitter, on Facebook. That's the crux. And it's moved. It's different. The Mac game is different. People are throwing money at baby girls in weaves.
Yeah.
That's getting them the things, which is
it's faster now.
Everything, suppose that nobody's trying no more.
Yeah.
An interesting clip there by Pop Culture, a very lively group of girls, loads of fun. Speaking about dating in the modern world, how's it changed over the past 5 years? In studio with me, I've got a very sophisticated, handsome-looking man. This is Theo Malherbe, who's been referred to as the modern day Cupid, the matchmaker.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, Theo. It's good meeting you and good having you in studio with us. It is, I think, a tricky question. or tricky situation, finding somebody, going on dates, and trying to develop a relationship. You know, the society has changed, but I mean, in your opinion, how has dating, has it changed? How has it changed in the past 5 years?
Well, you know, the thing is, I started this industry 12 years ago, and the reason for me starting it was what I had tried beforehand, and I had tried internet dating. And basically, I didn't enjoy internet dating. My intentions at the time was incorrect. It was all to do with, I just wanted a quickie. I was doing heavy drugs at the time. I was an alkie, and
You were in the fast-moving scene of...
totally,
you know,
I was doing
bad
the
decision
fast food dating.
Yeah.
Whereas when I got clean, I then did a bit of research on the whole dating scenario and realized something like my service would work for certain clients.
So what you do is, I mean, as far as your service goes, you do interviews with individuals, you create profiles for them, and then you...
Well, no. What basically happens is they find me on a website, fill in a join-up form, and then I assess, because, I mean, my market's for single professionals. And so I'm dealing with directors, entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, accountants, and celebrities. And a lot of them don't want to go onto internet dating or Tinder because they want the confidentiality. So once they've filled in a join-up form, I then set them up for a one-on-one meeting. And through that, we then establish what are their intentions. Then we go through a prospect, presentation, application form, service level agreement, they pay me, on board, and then we start the process. Yeah.
But it's not funny enough, but it's interesting that people would require that service. I mean, what in society has changed that you need a modern day yenta?
Well, it used to be like this in the old days. You know, I mean, matchmaking was big in the old days. So people are just going back to the old traditional ways. And as I said earlier on, one of the reasons why people come to me is the confidentiality, the integrity. Because on Tinder, once again, I'm not here to sit and slag off other industries. Some people like the quick fix. That's why they go onto Tinder or internet dating, whatever the process they choose to do. However, people come to me because they want the end result. Whether it's going to happen in one date or happen in 1 month, it could happen in 6 months, it could happen in a year. I don't know what you're looking for. You know, I don't know what race you're looking for. I don't know what religion you're looking for. Smokers, non-smokers, you know, all those dynamics come into the
People are quite
equation.
picky about that, eh?
Very picky.
And also, I find it. I'm a young man. I've been trying to go on dates or going on dates, and they come in different formats. We've spoken about, you know, the matchmaking has existed for a long time. There are always also the more traditional ways of meeting somebody through your circle of friends, and online dating has existed there for a long time as well. And even though online dating may appear to some people to be or is the quick fix, the wham bam, thank you ma'am, don't speak to you again kind of thing, that sort of scenario has been there for a while as well. Just because it's online now doesn't really mean that the dynamic has changed.
Yeah.
So all those platforms have been there.
Yeah,
so
I
I
mean,
think it's just for...
It's just doing certain things differently.
Yeah. And the things what suits you best as an individual, which platform do you think?
And what are your values?
Yeah.
You know, some people want certain things according to their values, and that's where I come in and do the work for them. Some people don't have the time. They don't have the, you know, because they're too busy at work. Their work schedule doesn't give them the time to go on dates or...
Do you think it's tricky? Do you think actually going on a date, let's say bar your service, outside of your service, do you think it is actually that difficult for like a normal everyday person?
Well, social media has become very big now. You know, and people are quick to sit behind a computer, but they don't want to meet face to face. So when it comes to meeting someone face to face, they don't know how to conduct themselves, they don't know how to communicate. You know, so people want the one-to-one, they want the face, they want the real. You know, so not saying that Tinder and internet dating aren't real, but you don't know who you're dealing with, you don't know who you're speaking to. You know, anyone can be anyone. You could put someone's fake photo on there. And I've had quite a few people that's joined my industry that have been ripped off, thinking they were communicating with Joe Slob. Meantime, it was someone wanting to be, you know, draw out money from me, etc., etc. And why those people give out the money in the first place, I don't know. You know, what's going on for you at the time. And a lot of times people are very vulnerable, they're needy, they're codependents. All they want to do is they want to be loved.
They want the quick fix.
Yeah.
Theo Malherbe, thank you very much. I've got a friend of mine, Mike, coming to the studio. Mike and I went on a bit of a Tinder challenge over the past week. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. And Theo's going to help us out, see maybe we can weave out some things, what Mike did wrong and how I did everything so right. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, now mean.
Okay, so can you walk us through what you would do before you meet a girl? Do you date on Tinder?
I'm not a fan of Tinder. It's there's too much variables there, like it's too many unknowns. I also feel like Tinder is actually very unsafe, so I try to stay away from Tinder.
So how would you meet a girl?
How to meet a girl? Well, it depends. Like, obviously, there is still meeting people, just generally like, oh, nice to meet you and stuff like that. But sometimes me and my friends will discuss. They'll be like, oh, have you seen this person? And then we'll do what's called aggressive recon. Some people might think it's stalking, but it's more rational than that. So basically, we'll get this person's name, and then we'll use social media to find out more and more about this person. So the general things, you'll first check out if they have Instagram. If you can't find the Instagram handle, you'll find their Facebook name because you have their name. And then from there, you'll see if they have Instagram, and then you'll see their Twitter and what they tweet about. And Facebook is not that well used anymore. So people don't really put up that much information about themselves on Facebook. So you might make a mistake where you think someone's into something because of their Facebook profile where that was last edited 5 years ago. And you'll just find out a lot about this person. And so when you actually do meet them, say you hang out in the same spots as them or stuff like that, say we go to the same club, and you do meet them eventually, you have common ground to talk about.
How much information can you actually find?
People are unaware about how much information they put about themselves. If you go through someone's tweets over 6 days, you'll find out so much about them. Like, you'll find out, okay, like the Euros are on right now. So if you want to find out if a girl is into sports or into the footballs, you just need to look at her tweets, and you'll see she's tweeting about the football or has no interest in the games at all.
So would you say you use it more to find commonalities with someone you like, or to pick up red flags about somebody, things that you might not realize initially when you meet someone?
It's definitely for similarities and commonalities. Like, you'll find out that people like this or like this, and sometimes you'll find out that someone likes something you're not really 100% interested in, but it's really cool that they're into it. Like, for example, let's say someone's really into dance or stuff like that. I'm not personally into it, but to see that they have like hectically drive and ambition and stuff like that is always a good thing to see. So it's more or less to tell you more about the person for that opening interaction. I think once you've done that, a big mistake that some people do, once they've met the person, they'll continue to do aggressive recon, and that's not a cool thing to do. Like, you've made the introduction, you know a little bit about the person. Now you should move away from reading about them online to talking to them.
In studio joining us now is a personal friend of mine as well, Michael Owen. Hello, Mikey.
I'm Mikey.
It's good to see you again, dude. I'm very well. And still in studio with us, Theo Malherbe, the matchmaker. That video, I was cringing a little bit while I was watching it. Because is that, Mike, you were a young dude, you were online quite a bit. Is that what goes on?
You know, I think that's the norm. Because
aggressive recon.
Well, not aggressive recon, but I think because like Tinder, Instagram, Snapchat, they're all connected. As in, if you go into Tinder, you can see the people who, you know, your common friends. And so you can easily go onto Facebook and you can find out more about that person that you've just matched with.
Over the 2 or 3 years that I've seen Tinder develop, they've allowed more information, or they push more information towards so that people can see more about who's on their matches. So they allow you to attach Instagram to it. They allow you to see common friends, right. which may promote the whole idea of, like, I don't know, not anonymity, but it creates this whole notion of aggressive stalking as well.
Yeah, but I mean, don't people want to meet face to face? You know, the one-on-one. So, as I said, you know, earlier on, you know, one of the reasons why people come to me because they don't want all the information exposed. You know, they want that confidentiality. They don't want their clients hitting on them, etc., because it could be anyone. You know, so and that's where I come in and do the necessary research and search for them.
But there's obviously a group of the group of society, a group of people who prefer that, the anonymity, the confidentiality, and there's a group of people who prefer to go and do like research.
Yeah,
because like John Doe said, he likes to find out about people and then maybe go hang out.
Maybe they're not ready for a relationship yet. You know, maybe they're still practicing. You know, trying to find out what they do want from a relationship. I mean, most of my clients that come to me, because of their values. You know, they want someone that's got a degree. They want someone that's got that's Christian, or that's sporty or etc. etc. etc.
But online dating is not going to tell you those values because those are more abstract things.
Yeah.
No.
It's going to tell you, I'm a sports guy. I like to go to the bar. But you're not going to find out personal information
But
like that.
that's the thing. I like the mystery and the romance of sitting face to face with somebody.
It works for you.
You know?
Maybe sorry, I interrupted there.
No.
You like the face to face.
Yeah, but the mystery and the romance of getting to know somebody and not going onto Facebook and going onto the entire profile and going like, I know what you did last week. I know that you like bungee jumping. I know this. I like to find out about, because otherwise, what are we gonna really talk about if I know everything about you by the time I meet you?
But isn't that why something like Tinder increased so exponentially? Because you went from traditional online dating, which showed you very little information about the person, and it was more like you might be dating person X. But now Tinder, it shows you who you're friends with. It shows you they do this, they do that, and it's more friendly. So you're not, the chance of you meeting.
I just think it's also unfair with the whole Tinder thing is where when people know that you are friends with XYZ that's actually swiped you and liked you, they tend to phone you and want to get some more information. Because I've had that experience before with some of my friends, and I feel that's very unfair.
I think, like we mentioned earlier, I mean, the platform, there are various platforms and they work for different people. People choose those platforms, it works for them. If they try it out, it doesn't work, they'll try something else. I've been on and off of Tinder. There are various
and you're
aspects
still
of
single?
Oh, good question.
Shade! Yes, I am, but I think that's a personal choice. I'm working on myself. The thing is, I think we all know this. There's no denying that social media, being online, there is a certain level of facade to it. So it doesn't matter how much aggressive recon you do, it's not really it's gonna be like, think of it with a bag of salt.
I always say find something that works for you.
Yeah.
If that's what you like, do that then. I'm not here to slag off Tinder or slag off internet dating.
At all.
I just say to clients, find something that resonates with your value system.
I agree with you utterly and completely. When is the last time you went on a date?
Well, the last time I went on a date was not connected with social media dating at all. It was a traditional, which I prefer. You meeting someone, the person that I met that I went on a date with was actually, we met at work. And so I think that's so much better than actually meeting someone online. And that was about 3 weeks ago.
Because how many fails can there be? I mean, I'm sure there's more non-successes.
Sorry, have you been on another date?
Well, we've met each other. We saw each other again at work.
Yeah, because I always say to my clients, before you diss someone, try and see them at least 2-3 times. Because, everyone's nervous. Everyone's got an expectation. You didn't look like Brad Pitt. Well, okay.
More Denzel, I think.
No, but I just say give that person that opportunity, However, if you really feel it's a no-no on that first date, awesome, then move on. But yeah, it's good you're going on another date.
Oh, hopefully one day.
Okay, cool.
I enjoy, I've enjoyed my time using various platforms and meeting people in various ways. But regardless of the platform, whatever, I still like the getting to know somebody, Not necessarily, not like you said, not knocking any of the platforms, not holding it against anything, but just sitting there face to face. On that note, we actually went out and asked a couple of people how they met their various partners. So we've got some vox pops lined up, but take a listen to this. We'll see if we can establish or unpack a little bit more what's going on in the dating scene.
What are your opinions on, what is your opinion on online dating and Tinder and that type of thing?
I don't believe in online dating. I think it's best to meet someone in person. I went on Tinder just for fun, to see what it was about, as a joke, but I think it's weird. I mean, some people are really forward and they just want to, get laid, whatever. But I wasn't keen on it.
Some of my friends have been getting chicks and smashing a lot of chicks, from Tinder. Tinder's working for them, I tried it, didn't work for me, so I just deleted it all.
I found that response quite interesting because those were a group of young people, and in modern day society, they were all against online dating.
Yeah. And I liked what they said, but at the same token, if you're going to do online dating, if you're going to do Tinder, I always say to people, be streetwise.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't streetwise.
You got to be mature and responsible. I mean, I'm also against online dating, but then again, I've got a good mate of mine whose 1 year anniversary is coming up with his girlfriend, who they met over Tinder, and everything's been going well.
See, I'm not against online dating. From time to time, it's not for me, or generally it's not for me, but I've had some good experiences meeting people. The one time I was online, or one of the times I was online, I also met a girl, dated her for just over a year, and I've had good experiences. I think it's also being street smart, knowing your intention, and also you sort of veering away from the people who have intentions that are going against yours.
Right.
You know?
And as you said, what are your intentions?
Yeah.
Do you still want to just play around, or you just want to get to know yourself? Those platforms work for some people, but when people want serious relationships, and I'm not saying a lot of people don't want serious relationships on Tinder and those platforms. I just find a lot of them aren't streetwise, and so they don't know who they're dealing with.
But then isn't that why an app like Tinder can connect you back to Facebook to find out what your intentions are?
Yeah, but I mean, connecting you back to Facebook, because that's when, as I said earlier on, sometimes they phone your mates or phone me. Yeah. So who, what is Mark all about? And I feel that's unfair.
But is that a common thing, or is that more radical?
I think it is. I've heard friends of mine that have matched and have gone like, "Hey, Mark, you know this person. What are they like? Are they connected? Are they hooked up?" That's actually where we have to end this particular interview, end the show for now, guys. Thank you very much, Mike. I know you're a very busy man. Theo's obviously got a lot of time in his hands. Don't forget, stay tuned. Mike and I have gone on to a Tinder challenge. So part 2 of this show, Dating in the Modern Day Age, is going to come up, and we see how Mike and I fare with our Tinder profiles and what comes of it.
Good afternoon, this is Mark Johnson. Welcome to...
No, man. What's it called?
Nah, me.
No, me.
Not me. I've been given a challenge by the producers. I've got to get a Tinder account and see if I can get any dates, figure out how to use Tinder. Then we start a profile, choose the pictures, and then we have guests in studio who are going to judge us on our performance and give us a couple of tips. Well, most of the tips are from Mike.
You should unback.
Less criminal, less pedophile is also good. Have you created your profile?
So you know the rules. You have to put your picture that we just took now onto the.
Do you want to have alcohol in your photo? You don't want to give the.
I'm not going for 16-year-olds.
Let's get to the caption.
Sometimes I delete mine.
My one says, no man is an island.
What does that mean? You need a Voyager.
I need company. This is for you.
Oh, yeah.
All I'm in search of is true love.
Seems a bit desperate.
It's true,
but
and. So like comma and a good time.
I'm an elegant,
charming young man. Charming. You're supposed to be helping me out.
Charming young man. Emphasis on the young.
Charming, and I'm an elegant, charming, and adventurous soul. I'm gonna make my age 23 to 38.
I like my people my age.
Yeah, well, with 18 to 23, that seems so young. What are you guys gonna talk about?
Chocolates and...
Yeah, chocolates and Shrek. You heard it right there. Dating in the modern world. It just goes to show that the more things change, the more they stay the same. There's still gonna be the people who want the wham bam thank you ma'ams. There are still gonna be the people that go out there and look for love. But whether you use online dating platforms, whether you use social media in some way, or you find yourself a Theo Malherbe, a matchmaker, maybe it's a friend or a mother or an aunt, at some point you still have to come face to face with the one you're looking for.